All right, good morning, guys. Ooh, it's a little wet here today. A storm late this morning, or I guess early this morning. Um, so let's just dive right into practice today. Making your way to a comfortable upright seat, whatever that looks like and feels like for your body. And just take a breath and arrive. For some of us, this is very early in the morning. We're still waking up. So check in with yourself. How did you sleep last night? Is there something on your mind this morning? And just honor how you're feeling in this moment. And then just begin to tune into the breath, reminding you that our breath carries us through our practice. And when we learn how to control the breath, we learn how to control our nervous system. If you learn how to control your nervous system, you can literally control your life. So, by slowing down the inhales and exhales so that they are in the belly, they become equal. You're taking yourself out of fight or flight and putting yourself in that state of rest or rest and digest. So we don't realize how our day to day life affects our nervous system from the news, social media, traffic, world affairs, politics. These can all trigger a fight or flight response in us, bad dreams. So by just tuning into your breath, allowing them to be patient and equal, you'll put yourself in a state where you can respond to a situation as opposed to react. So on the inhale, you're going to draw the arms up overhead. The exhale, you're going to take your right hand to the mat alongside of you and try to keep these inhales and exhales balanced, so equal. Walking the right hand further away from you until you find that limit of your stretch. You inhale, reach the left arm up even farther, and then exhale, maybe you come deeper into the lateral stretch here. So you're using your breath as a guide and as a tool. The inhale initiates the movement. The exhale, you deepen or you soften the body. Let's hold here for two more rounds of breath, taking this as comfortably and safely deep as possible this morning. Inhale, you draw the arms up, and exhale, you take them to the other side. Notice how the body expands with the inhalation. And the exhale, you feel the body softening. But can you feel your nervous system downshifting as well? Can you feel your stress levels releasing or lowering? Inhale, coming back center, moving into a twist now. Left hand to the right knee, the right hand back behind you. As you breathe into this twist, close the eyes here and tune inward. When we turn off one of our senses, the other ones become more heightened. So, what do you notice about the breath when your eyes are closed? What do you feel in your body? Inhale, we come center. Exhale, we twist to the other side. Starting to ring out through our digestion organs, our detox organs, noticing how the breath changes as we twist. We're going to start to build some heat into our practice this morning. So inhale, come back center, and we're going to transition into boat pose. So making your way into your first boat pose. It's early in the day, so be kind to the hamstrings. I recommend bending the knees. For some of you, you may be like, I'm ready to straighten them. But for the rest of us, take a bend in the knees. Flex the toes so they're back towards your face. And you want to avoid hunching over. So if you find yourself rounding, lift your sternum and collarbones and squeeze the scapula down and away from the ears. You can hold on behind the knees here, or you can have your arms straight, finding that sweet spot where you're balanced on your sit bones, beginning to engage the core, the muscles of the back. We're going to move dynamically here. So on the inhale, you're going to lower down, low boat. And on your exhale, you lift up, high boat. So moving with the breath, we're going to go 9 more times. That's a lot. Take your time. You may need to pause in between. So following your breath, exhale, high boat. Inhale, low boat. Feeling the heat build in the body. Notice how the breath initiates movement. Couple more, guys. You can do it. Getting that Agni, that inner fire. Last time. And rest. Drop your feet to the mat. Let your torso rest over your thighs. Drop your head and hang it heavy. And start to stretch out through the muscles of the back. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Feeling that Agni, that heat, that fire of transformation. Noticing how your breath has shifted. And we're going to cross over our ankles and come right into a downward dog this morning. So take your time and pedal it out. We got all that heat building in our core. Let's start stretching out through our back now. And then making your way into a still downward dog. Pressing firmly through the heels. Feeling the entire back body stretch and expand. You're going to inhale, shift into high plank. Again, engage that core. Feel that heat building. Keep your breath steady here. Equal inhales and exhales. And we hold. Try to maintain stillness in the body and yet a softness in the breath. Notice how this affects your nervous system. Notice how it affects your thoughts. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. Stretch it out. You're going to bend the knees, switch the gaze, and hop, step, float, or walk to the front of your mat. Exhale and fold. Hang heavy here. This is our first real forward fold, so maybe you want to take a nice deep bend in the knees, coming to a ragdoll. Letting the head and neck just be heavy. Starting to feel the hamstrings really begin to stretch. The muscles of the lower back and glutes. And with your next inhale, you're going to slowly roll up to a standing position. The head and neck will come last. Where you find yourself in mountain pose. It's that pause. It's that moment to just check back in with yourself. So much happens in this pause. Our perception changes in the pause. Our breath changes in the pause. Our body changes in the pause. So when you're here in mountain pose, don't just feel what's going on physically for you. Check in mentally and emotionally as well. The inhale draws the arms up overhead. The exhale, you hinge at the hips as the hands move towards the earth. Inhale, lift to a flat back. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank. If you're moving through vinyasa this morning, this would be the time to take vinyasa. If you're not taking vinyasa, you're going to meet me in downward dog. And then we'll meet here together. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Slide it down to the wrist, back to the elbow, and back to three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, left wrist, back to the elbow, and back to three-legged dog. This time the knee comes to the nose and you round.
and you hold and you draw that knee closer towards the abdomen. You broaden across the back. Inhale back to three-legged dog. And now you're going to exhale.
Bring the foot underneath of the face, runner's lunge. So bringing the foot forward can be really challenging. So sometimes you need to take a couple of steps. Take your time to get here. High on the ball of your back foot. Coming to tented fingers or allowing the fingers to hover completely off the mat, really beginning to engage through your core. Draw that right hip back. Keep your breath steady. Has it changed at all when we were moving? Can you slow it down? Can you even it out? And the next inhale, you're going to lift up into a crescent warrior. And breathe. Feel yourself firmly grounded in the earth here. Feel the breath as it expands through the torso. Notice your tone of thoughts. Exhale, drop both hands back to the earth. Ground down through that right foot and lift up into standing splits. Trying to straighten that right leg as much as you can. Lift those hips. Maybe you come to tented fingers. Maybe one hand or both comes to that standing ankle. Breathe into the challenge here. Keep the breath steady. It will help keep you stable. We're coming back into a runner's lunge. So you're going to bend that right knee, drop the left foot, and here you are, right where we began. Dropping the left knee to the earth, untucking the toes, shifting your weight into the pelvis as we come into a lizard lunge. So you're going to heel toe that right foot out to the edge of your mat so you have space for your hands and torso. And you can stay here, you can come to your forearm, you can roll onto the blade edge side of that right foot and drop the knee open as we start to get into the energy of the hips here. Close your eyes. Notice where the breath expands to. Notice where it's met with tightness or resistance. See if you can breathe past that. See if you can expand the breath so far it moves outward through the body. Keep it steady and patient though. And then slowly you're going to kind of back out of this pose, coming out the same way you came in. Tucking your left toes, lifting your hips, and taking that right foot up and back for three-legged dog. Peel the knee open. Maybe you draw circles with the hip and knee. Maybe you take a vinyasa. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And then from down dog, we'll do that on the other side. So inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Slide it to the wrist, to the elbow, and back to three-legged dog. Left knee comes to the right elbow. You slide it to the wrist, to the elbow, and then back to three-legged dog. This time the knee comes to the nose and you round and you hold, broadening across the back, engaging the core. Three-legged dog. And then the exhale, you step that left foot underneath of the face, runner's lunge. Knowing that it may take a few times to get that foot safely in place. Coming back into your practice here, anchoring into your foundation, checking back in with your breath. Has your mind started to wander? Where can you readjust? Fingers tented or hovering, really engaging through your core here, continuing with that Agni, that inner fire. You're going to inhale, rotate out, coming into a crescent warrior.
Feeling that energy channel just moving right through you. Anchoring into the present moment. Being present with the breath, maybe closing your eyes. And seeing if you can feel your nervous system as it shifts into a more deeper state of relaxation. I know you're moving, I know you're assertive, but you can still be relaxed here. Exhale both hands to the earth. Ground down through that left foot and lift up into standing split, giving that left hamstring a nice big stretch. Let the head and neck be heavy here, guys. Maybe you challenge your balance by bringing one hand or both to that standing ankle. Notice how your breath affects your balance. If you're breathing slowly and patiently, you're probably going to be more anchored in this pose. If your breath is shallow and erratic, you might be a little bit more wobbly. The breath is an indicator of what's going on internally for us. So we're coming back to runner's lunge. You're going to exhale, bend the left knee, drop that right foot. Coming into lizard lunge, we drop the right knee and then heel toe the left foot to the edge of the mat. And then you get to take this as deep as you'd like. Coming to the forearms, maybe you roll onto the pinky side of that foot. You can close your eyes here and follow the breath as it expands outward through the body. What's happening with the body and the breath? What's happening with the mind? If your mind is wandering and you're thinking about work or your to-do list, notice what's happening with the breath. Does it become quicker? Does it become more shallow? If your mind is wandering and you're daydreaming about an activity you'd like to do, check in with the breath. Is it slower and more patient? Is it deeper in the diaphragm? Backing out of this pose the same way we came in, walking the hands under the shoulders, tucking your toes, lifting the right hip and knee, and then taking the left foot up and back to three-legged dog. Bend the knee and peel the hip open. Maybe you draw circles with the knee and hip. Maybe you're ready for a vinyasa and you move through your vinyasa. And we'll meet together in child's pose. Let this be a wide knee child's pose when you get there, starting to get deeper into that energy of the hips. You can stack your palms and rest your forehead. We're going to spend 5 breaths here, just focusing on the breath. Each time you inhale, feel it expand outward through the body. Notice if it's met with resistance. Notice if it's met with tightness. And from our child's pose, you're slowly going to walk your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting up and then coming right onto a seat. Allowing the legs to be straight out in front of you. And depending on how your hamstrings are feeling this morning, you can have a really deep bend in your knees if you want. You can have a little bend in your knees, or maybe your legs are straight. Inhale, we're going to draw the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, we're hinging forward into a forward fold. So just like every forward fold, you don't want to be rounding through the spine here, guys. You really want to keep a nice straight spine. So drop your shoulder blades down and away. Feel the heart and collarbones lift. And you're hinging from your hips, from your hip flexors. Forward folds are cooling for the body. And they also give us an opportunity to turn inward. So as we're stretching out through the back body, as we're settling into this long held forward fold, close the eyes and turn inward. What do you notice? What do you feel? Maybe you move deeper with the next exhale, just surpassing your comfort zone, challenging yourself just a little bit more. And then as you inhale, you lift the torso and you come all the way supine, drawing the knees in towards your chest as you counter that forward fold. You can rock your hips from side to side. We're going to hold on to the left knee. Inhale, straighten the right leg up towards the sky, and then point and flex the right foot. You can draw circles with the ankle if you'd like. And then as you exhale, you're slowly going to lower that right foot all the way to the earth. Coming into a half happy baby on the left side. So the sole of the left foot goes towards the sky. The knee comes in towards the armpit. You get one final big stretch for the outer hip and the groin. And then as you exhale, you cross that right knee over the body. You come into supine twist. Beginning to slow down the exhales at this point. Really feeling yourself slip into a state of relaxation. Take control of your nervous system. Just as calm and focused as you are in your supine twist, you can be this calm and focused in a meeting with a client while you're working. Inhale, we draw both knees back center. You can seagrass or sway out from side to side if you feel that that would benefit you. Then we're going to hold on to the right knee, take that left foot up towards the sky, and then point and flex through that foot and that ankle. And then with control, you lower the left leg all the way to the earth. Use the inhalation to take that half happy baby on the right side, getting a final outer hip and groin stretch. And then the exhale crosses the right knee over the left side body for supine twist. These are gentle twists, gently stretching the lower back and the hips, lubricating the vertebrae, and most importantly, allowing yourself to simply be. Inhaling, drawing your knees back center. And then when you're ready, surrendering into your expression of Shavasana. Taking your time to get there. Knowing that Shavasana is the most important pose in your yoga practice. It's where we energetically integrate everything that we've just done physically. Gives your nervous system an opportunity to rest. It gives your mind an opportunity to rest. You just breathe and relax. Shavasana.
And you're welcome to remain here for as long as you desire, resting in Shavasana, taking control of your nervous system. And when you're ready, you slowly begin to find gentle movement through your fingers and your toes. Just reawaken as if for the first time today. Yet you reawaken with the wisdom of how to control your nervous system. You reawaken with the knowledge of how to control your life. Eventually making your way up to a comfortable seat. Coming back to the present moment. And when you're ready to close out your practice, you draw both hands together at the heart center as a sign of gratitude and in honor of all that you are. Namaste.